hot-wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Beat my brother-in-law half to death, lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Good old boys, we're all the same. Ain't no way we'll ever change. Ain't no harm by the things we do or the trouble that we get into. Other than a wild hair once in a while, we can't help it, it's just our style. Good old boys is all we'll ever be.
Hey, good morning. Welcome
Good
to the
morning,
Wade and Carter
good
Show.
Morning,
How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good and excited to be here on a Thursday, a post-call to Wednesday, Thursday.
Happy to be here. A
Excited.
little cloudy, but what does that mean for us? Will you tell us what the Wade and Carter weather has to say?
The great seer of all things weatherish. The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the little gin that could. For over 50 years, the great folks at AT Dearland Feed have been serving you and yours. Get by. What's the special this week, farmer?
They still got all their deer corn. Cash
Ashley
price is
Green
better
Jeans.
than their
Remember Farmer Green Jeans?
Mr. Green Jeans.
Mr. Green Jeans. Thank you. Thank you.
Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah, y'all had that in Canada?
Yeah, it was on an
He was
American
probably
channel.
Canadian.
Well, weren't they all buddies? Him, Mr. Rogers, and then the guy that we had up there, Mr. Dressup.
Mr. Dress Up. See, it's always very practical in Canada. Mr. Long Pants.
That's what he does.
Mr. Long Pants. Mr. Baroque Shoes.
Mr. Parka.
And his friend, Mr. Parka. Yeah.
And his native Canadian friend, Mr. Muckluck.
And their ne'er-do-well friend, Mr. Wife Beater. Get the Wife Beater t-shirt with smudges on it. 81 degrees in Victoria, heading to a high today of 100. 81 to 100. Hut, 81. 81. Omaha. Omaha.
Anyone?
100. Is it not stark to you the practicality of all things Canadian? What are we having tonight? Red meat. We're having red meat tonight. Oh, really? I mean, roast? Does it matter? It's red meat.
Wasn't that bad.
With green legumes and starchy. You mean potatoes? Starchy.
Starchy.
We're having starchy.
Yep. Bag
Cheese
of deer
curds.
corn, $8.75. The cash price, credit card price up to $9. Stop on by.
No, you've got to extrapolate it over time. Cash price $8.75. Credit card price $27.50. Because by the time you get through paying the minimum for 11 years, that $8 worth of corn is going to cost you $27.50.
And they've got all your pet needs, feed, all that. Hay, if you want bales of hay, they've got
Is that our
bales
deal?
of hay.
What did you do there?
What did I do?
What have you done to
What?
yourself?
Huh?
They got a little chunk.
Frontal lobotomy?
It's our favorite Navy SEAL, Bill Posey, just walked in.
You want to get on the mic and explain
Come talk
what's
to us.
going on?
One thing I love about Bill Posey is, and there's many, many things I really adore about Bill Posey, but one thing I love about Bill Posey is he'll get riled up about something, and his comment is, "I've got one good war left in me." He's ready to go. He's a patriot, and he's ready to go. Let's ask Bill. We have a lead story. It's not a huge story, but it is to this guy. Tell the story about the gentleman in Utah and ask Bill Posey if he's heard anything about it and what he thinks.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to listen in, but to your show this morning. But the FBI goes and raids this gentleman's home in Provo, Utah.
We went over. It was in the Daily Mail.
Proximity to Salt Lake, because apparently a couple of weeks ago when it was made known that our president was going to be going to Salt Lake City, he went on social media and made some stupid comments. And let's be honest, what he did was dumb.
Yeah, stupid.
Right?
You can't say this is a good time for an assassination.
Or two of them,
Come
and
on,
threaten the president
can't.
and Kamala
You shouldn't
Harris.
do that.
And he was going to, get his AK ready or whatever he said. I don't remember. AR, thank you.
Semi-automatic.
So then
assault
yesterday,
weapon.
the FBI raids his house and kills him.
Right. Shoots him right on his front porch.
And
unarmed?
No. Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know. I don't know. The details are sketchy because I read they were in his house yesterday, and you just told me on his porch. So But anyway, from what I understand from the neighbors, this guy wasn't a threat except to himself. Heavy, overweight, old guy who needed a cane to get around the house and never left his house. He wasn't going anywhere to kill anybody.
You know, it's too bad. You know, how can the FBI look any worse? They bungled the Russia, all this stuff with Biden. It's all insider bunch of bull. And then they go kill this guy in Salt Lake. Just remember, they also did Ruby Ridge, right?
Yes,
and Waco. I mean, there's so many
Koresh
things.
had it coming.
But presidential regimes notwithstanding, that Koresh happened on Bush's watch.
Yeah.
And you look at these things and you go, is it not government overreach? Is it not?
Yeah.
Are they not becoming the brown shirts?
Well, that's what I wonder. They're like the assassination arm. And are they not just sending a message? We're not going to tolerate that kind of talk. I can see you being
of
arrested.
this president. We'll tolerate that talk when Madonna threatens to blow up the White House.
there you
That's
go.
okay.
In
That's okay.
large
That's okay.
crowds, we're going to
She
leave her.
didn't mean it.
Yeah.
I have a cure for all this. Call me up. Put me on an airplane in 2 minutes. I will go knocking. I'm 77.
Right.
I don't care, right?
Knock on the door and
If
ask
that guy
the
puts a bullet through me, too bad, too sad.
Right.
Let some guy like me. There's 100 guys in Salt Lake City that'll knock on the guy's door. Dude, there's the guys on the front, on your driveway. Please surrender and come and talk to these guys rather than have them shoot you.
So that you can just say, "Oh man, I was just mad at the situation.
Yeah.
I was, there's a gazillion keyboard warriors out there.
Absolutely.
I say things on Twitter every day that I would be ashamed to say to somebody's face. I mean, it's for fun. It's a release. It's how you.
Sure.
But you can't be releasing on social media. Sure would be a good. Hey, at 3:00 in the afternoon when he walks out of the federal building, would be a great time for an assassination. You can't do that.
Nobody wants an assassination of anybody, especially
Right.
political candidates.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to have their candidates or their opposition candidates jailed or indicted.
No, the Democrats want that, sir. They do. They want that of our former president Trump.
I don't know.
They don't want to kill him, but they want him.
They want him to die in jail.
They want him out of the way.
What do you make? There was a presidential or a leadership candidate in Ecuador was assassinated the other day.
Saw that the other day too.
My brain immediately says, "Why did the CIA want to kill that guy?"
That's where we're going. And does America want to go down that assassination trail? Of course not. We don't want to be. We're trying to be, but we don't want to be a banana republic, right?
No, but I read enough Tom Clancy books and I watch enough Jack Ryan and this stuff that I believe that some foreign country killed that guy. That guy in Ecuador.
Yeah, Ecuador killed him. That's a foreign country.
Wasn't a mad girlfriend. It was an Ecuadorian killer.
I'm looking for a girlfriend to be mad.
Right. Sure. Right.
Hey, good seeing you
Tell
guys.
her don't be too demanding. I'm tired. That'll be your next affair. Bill, tell me a story. Well, it was 74 and I was in Bangkok. Yeah, I know how it'll be. You old sailor, you. Mr. Zuck, good to see you, sir. Did you go to the school board meeting the other night?
Oh, yeah.
Can you just give us like a synopsis?
Give
like
us the
summary?
Cliff Notes version, the Zuck Notes version of last
Zuck
night's
Notes.
meeting.
They're being forced to reduce their local tax collection, but the state is picking up the big difference.
Well, there you go.
But they're increasing their budget from 25 million to 136 million. But they need more money. They're
Hold on a second.
Wait, from
100
25
million?
to 136.
last year it was 25 million. This year they're proposing 136.
Well, where are they going to get $100 million?
Well, most of it is coming from the state, but I don't know how many millions are coming locally, but they want another Vatry.
So this is, and it's probably part of a 2-year. It's probably part of the latest 2-year state budget, right?
Correct.
So, and the state gave away a lot of money to public ed, not higher ed, K through 12, because they had a $25 billion surplus.
32.
Okay, well, it was higher than, it ended up being higher than
What's
initially.
a couple of billion
what's a few
between
billion
us and
between,
Ukraine?
yeah. So, in 2 years, when we don't have a $32 billion surplus, how is this district going to sustain a $100 million operating budget?
We'll get some grants. Tell them.
What's normally ended up happening when the state can't quite put as much money out to the locals, they allow the state's unlimited ability to the locals unlimited ability to tax. But this group needs additional 3 more cents from another Vatry like what we passed 2 years ago.
Yes, sir.
They need 3 more cents. Do they need it? They got a lot of surplus. Plus, they have a built-in almost $11 million in over needs inside their instruction budget. Do they need the money? Probably so. Do they deserve it? Probably not.
I'm convinced I could sit
Steve
down.
Kidder says some of that's to cover the mandatory security measures. That
No. They've got that is
That's already a
that's
separate
bull.
issue, right?
That's
Okay.
completely. They're already spending 2.1. They just need 3.1 in order to fulfill that extra amount. They got it within their budget, the $1 million.
Thank you for that.
It's
But
not
do you
bad.
know that I'm convinced that the 3 of us could sit down and with no emotion. You know, it's funny. You can redline something, and Judge Zeller and I and you have talked about this before. You can redline something and say they don't need that, but there's such a thick want that some of it ends up being a need, and you find that when you and I sit, if you could see it in real time, like from a drone, and we go, we're going to cut this budget right here, and it doesn't need to be 150,000. We're going to knock it down to 90, and you just see like a person disappear off the screen or a group become sad. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't involve sitting down, shutting up, and learning something, whether that be in an agricultural extension or in a trade school function or in a foreign language or whatever, music, sports, whatever, then I'm all for cutting it. And if you told these folks, this is all you got, make it work, there are things that could be cut.
I don't know about cutting anything, but the truth of
Look
the
at that,
school
and you're as
district-
conservative a person as I know, so you're saying they're running pretty lean.
They're running lean.
Good for you,
But
then I'm on board.
Here's the thing. They're in a death spiral. More parents are walking with their feet. The kids aren't learning, and they
lost some pretty significant revenue last year from kids not being in school, didn't
No, they didn't.
No? Okay.
No, they're not.
That's what
They're
I had
not-
heard.
They're not hurting. But they're losing kids, and that's when the parents are going elsewhere, and they're willing to spend $10,000 to go to a private school.
In other
That's-
news, St.
yeah.
Joe just opened a 10,000 acre.
Y'all guys have a great one.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
We'll
Dave.
see you,
Good to
Dale.
see you,
Thank you.
sir. Very informed individual right there. Polarizing, reminds me of me a little bit, but a lot to be learned. You can listen a lot today and learn a lot. You got a roll call over
they?
there?
Yeah,
big
Steve
guy?
Kidder checking in. Andrew Rokovich, good morning, Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Michelle Wilson-Hawkins, Andrew Alvarez. Jarrett McCrugan, good morning. Rena Scherer checking in. Scott Tomko.
Hello, Rena.
Daniel Wade White, Linda Christ. Greg Garcia, good morning. Scott Snow. Scott Junior Samples is in. Justin Glass. Ricky King. Lisa Poole. Judge Posey, good morning. Christina Wise. Will Vincent. Patricia Nagel. Kendra Douglas. Tammy Keeling.
Hello, Tammy.
Roy Gutierrez.
What did Junior Samples call Justin Swatowski yesterday? Squalic.
Anything but, yeah.
Squalic. How hard is that, Swatowski?
Tammy Keeling says more misinformation from Dale.
Oh, Tammy,
Somewhere
stop it.
in the middle is the truth.
That's right. I'd like to get. Well, first of all, I'd like to see
124 million to 133 million for VISD, says Andy Rokovich. So that's 9 million,
Follow
not
me on
not
this.
not 100 million.
right. Exactly. I thought it was 100.
Yeah, I was going to say I
not
didn't think we were at
24.
25 million. No.
What I'd like to do, just for my own sick mind, I'd like to debrief. Now that Tammy Keeling is out of that loop where she served so faithfully for so long, I'd like to get about 3 Las Palmas Francaritas in her and just have her say, well, let me tell you about the time in 97. I'd like to get Tammy just to tell us where all the bodies are buried and what really goes on.
She's at a point now where
She could write a
she's
book.
suppressed all of that so far down.
Right. She's checking in right now from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
She's on a beach. Frozen fruity drink.
She does not need to be triggered to
But I
bring
agree.
all of that up.
I
and-
agree. It could send her into
yeah,
a spiral.
It could very much. It's the multifactual portion of the show.
Right. There's lots going on here.
Yeah. It's interesting, though. You know, the FBI goes and raids this old man's house.
Tammy, you can call, though, by the way, anytime you want.
361-894-4020 is the number
Sure.
to call.
Love
The
her.
FBI goes and raids this guy's house.
Fat guy.
This is how we're heading into election cycle.
Yeah. Don't say anything bad. We'll kill
No,
you.
we're going to try and eliminate
We'll kill you.
our enemies. San Francisco police, while making an arrest, have a guy walk up, pull a gun on him. They shoot him, and everybody there is wondering, why couldn't they have de-escalated it?
Yeah.
What about the de-escalation tactics? Well, where were they with the FBI? If you want them on one end, why aren't you asking for on the other? But no, they're just sitting there going, oh, yeah, kill the MAGA, kill the MAGA.
If there's 9 FBI guys and one fat 60-something-year-old guy with an AR and he ends up dead, they didn't do very good at de-escalating.
No.
But I'm going to tell you something else. If my son, I always say, if these things work, they don't just work in a vacuum, right? You can look at them in the real world. If my son is a police officer and some guy, he's walking up to a guy and says, hey, I need to visit with you for a second, and the guy turns around and pulls a gun, and my son shoots him, good.
What if your son pulls the gun?
Good. He knows better.
Well, and that's where I'm getting, because all the reports now in San Francisco, and I could play one, but I'll just summarize it for you. 41-year-old man, they leave his age out of this.
Oh, the fat guy's 41?
No, this is the San Francisco guy that pulled the gun on the police while
How
they
many
were
times
arresting
had he
a
been
guy.
arrested?
I don't know that. I don't know.
Was he white?
No, black.
Oh, man, I hate it when that happens.
But it's San Francisco, city of love. They don't care about any of that, right?
No, they don't care. No, they're certainly racial free.
But the things they're pointing out to try to make excuses for the behavior. And I'm listening to a report, and then I read a report. They left out his age in the one report that I listened to.
He was a good man, just trying to get his life
So they
straightened
made
out.
it sound like this was like a 21-year-old kid, barely out of school, not really knowing any better, right? At the celebration of life for him, and then the reporter's going, well, he's still trying to deal with the loss of his mother from cancer over a year ago.
Should you have like a T-shirt that
I
says
lost
that
my
on the
mom
back?
from cancer in November.
Yeah, you ain't putting
I'm
a
not
gun on
pulling
nobody.
guns on people.
Right.
I'm not intervening in police business, asking to get shot. There are groups out there that cost no money at community hospitals to deal with that stuff. It's a bunch of bull crap.
Well, why is it that
And he's 41 years old. He doesn't know better?
we spend all our time nowadays explaining away people's bad behavior?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
look no further than Hunter Biden.
Well, his aunt.
Well, he was on drugs.
Yeah.
It's none of this is his fault. He's not elected.
Yeah,
It's not his fault.
Well, and the guy's aunt said something like, well, he should have known better, but police could have known better too, was basically her comment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the police fault, this guy shows up, pulls a gun on him, it's the police's fault. And they should have known better.
You pull a gun on a cop, in my opinion, if you pull a gun on a police officer and he feels imminently threatened with his life, he should put you down.
And I'm surprised San Francisco wasn't rioting and looting and burning, but they're already doing that, so it doesn't matter.
The real estate is so valuable there, they don't do that. They do that in places like Philly, Detroit,
Well, they do it downtown too.
Chicago.
But it's funny how, and apparently they released the body cam footage, which clearly shows this guy pulling a gun out of his waistband.
Cap him.
And now, instead of just saying, oh, geez, we were wrong, sorry, police, they try to make it seem like, wow, the police should have done something different.
He was trying to hand the weapon over.
How about you ask where the de-escalation is for the guy that pulled the gun on the police? Why didn't he de-escalate the situation?
Don't escalate.
Ever. When somebody's getting arrested, the way you de-escalate that situation, you stay the hell over there.
Sure.
You don't get involved. You don't pull the gun. But no, the police have the responsibility to de-escalate the situation. Get the hell out of here with that BS. I'm
So
tired
you
of
talk
it.
about people getting attacked. I saw yesterday video footage of one of Rand Paul's staffers got attacked. He's walking down the street. He's got on like a little overcoat. Now this is a typical DC staffer.
Yep.
Pasty, skinny, hoping to get into Columbia Law School, dweezil
Did he have his
guy.
Did he have his congressional?
Oh
pat?
yeah, and he had
button
his
on?
glasses on. I mean, this guy's like 5'10", $140, and he's walking along carrying his little briefcase, and this guy comes up, and all of a sudden the guy just like horse collars him, and gets him on the ground and just starts beating on him. Well, the guy does the what I call the feline move. He's on his back, arms and legs are going, scratching. Get off me!
Getting DNA
Well,
underneath his
He
fingernails.
gets the guy off of him, and then it's like just for a second, deep down in his DNA, the alpha male comes out. He stands up and just falls like a pile driver on the boom, and lands on the guy and smashes his head into the ground. And
Good.
he gets up and walks off. And I thought that is so cool. Like that one PE class he had in 6th grade where there was like a wrestling. That one time that he watched WWE.
Yeah, good for him dropping the elbow on him.
Scott Tomko goes 5'10", a tall guy. Yeah, spindly.
Junior Samples is not just attacked; he was stabbed. Was he really?
Yeah, there was a
Okay.
shank of some type laying on the ground.
Andrew Alvarez says we praise the criminals and vilify the victims. That's where we are. Yep.
What did Steve Kidder say?
Just pulling a gun on a cop is like pouring gas on yourself and lighting a match.
Yeah, just don't be stupid. If all we ever do for you folks is have a public service announcement, I tell you every single time, you get pulled over by the cops. You put your hands on the steering, put your car in park. If it's safe and you're on the side of the road, turn it off.
Now, do we have some bad cops?
No,
Absolutely, there's a few.
why would you turn it off? You turn it off so the police officer knows that you're zero threat to run. You are essentially like that dog that rolls over on its back when the cop walks up. This may hurt your ego. This may hurt your pride. But this will never get you shot, no matter what color you are. Your window's down. Your driver's license is between these fingers. Your insurance is between these fingers.
See, don't do that. Don't do that.
Your hands
It looks
are on
like
the
a
wheel.
gun.
Your hands
As you're
are-
walking up, it looks like you got a gun.
Bend your fingers, and your hands are on the wheel.
Not just a gun. Now you're
Right.
going and doing sideways. You're gangster in it.
In my case, I have my LTC license with my driver's license. I have
you
a
tape
9
them together like you
millimeter,
were advised?
an AR-15, and 4 hand grenades on my front seat to show the officer my arsenal. And then I just sit there politely.
Because he's pulled you over in your tank.
Right.
I turn the turret
I
away from the officer.
always open the turret and reach out and go, "Is there a problem, officer?" with my helmet slightly pushed backwards to give me a more pleasant appearance.
And the cigarette hanging out of your
Right.
mouth.
It's me, Sergeant Fury.
G.I. Brent. G.I. Carter.
Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. No, be safe. Be smart. Folks, if you have a problem on the roads, reach out to Alan's Record Service, 578-6300. Alan will come up and just go, "Shut up. Give me your license.
Well,
Be
Vincent
still."
says, don't forget to drop your drink out the window.
Right. Yeah. Do you think the cops don't notice it when you're alone in the vehicle and they're starting to pull you over and the passenger window goes down and some big spray comes out the side? They don't know that's a vodka.
No,
Throw it out.
that's right.
578-6300, folks. That's Alan's Record Service. Palace Bingo coming up. Lisa Poole badgering me, beating upon me, just torturing me with messages. When is Friends Meet Friends at
It's
Palace
not
Bingo?
next week, I
It's
can
not
tell you
next
that.
week. There's just way too much going on to have Palace Bingo next Thursday. But we want to move it to a night that works for you folks. And Wednesday might be better the
Wednesday might
next
work.
week.
Yeah,
Not in 5 days. The next week, Wednesday.
yeah,
How does that work?
should.
Mark Kirk says Sergeant Carter. Arr.
Junior Sample says that when you give your license out the window, you've got a Benjamin under it.
Scott says Brent drives a spotless Raptor. There's not a threat.
Not a threat at
The
all.
Look at me truck.
It's never seen a county road.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends.
Not
No,
true.
I have gone
No.
down. I've gone down to your house.
Not in that.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I did, and turned around. No,
No,
we
you were in the.
we
You
were in the
yeah,
Escalade.
Yep, no.
Veracruz.
I'm not taking that. I'm not taking my truck down this dirt
Take
road.
that Cadillac down there. Veracruz, just the best Mexican food in town, period. I told Lee Caballero the other day that's what we're saying, and he goes, well, you're not lying.
No, we don't
Send
lie.
them over.
Yep.
Chesnick Furniture for over 100 years. Chesnick and Love make your house a home. Get by and get washers, dryers, bedding, all types of.
Accoutrement.
I love it when you talk
Made in
French.
America. It's awesome stuff. Best recliners.
Chesnick saves you money. That's catchy, right?
It's
Bobby
been
Leon.
used.
Bobby Leon sleeping on the roof until he sells 10,000 Tempur-Pedic mattresses. What do you make of Mattress Mac? I mean, can't you just have a great product, great service, great delivery like Chesnick and just get by? Why does it Mattress Mac? Because I'm sleeping in like his prayer tower. He's doing the Oral Roberts redo till he sells 10,000.
Yeah.
He said, I'm doing my part to rid Houston of a bad night's sleep.
Well, and make sure Sheila Jackson Lee doesn't win the race for
Sheila
mayor.
Jackson Lee. I told her the other day, I go, you be dumb. I told her that on Twitter, you be dumb.
Here's the thing. It's a no-lose proposition for her because she didn't give up her seat in Congress, right? If she doesn't win the mayor, she's still their representative.
Right.
She'd have to give that up. You want to go do something else, you're done being a congressperson.
Her motto, make Houston the fourth ward.
All of it.
Ugh, unbelievable, this woman. The VCS companies for all your communication needs. They power
Yep,
the
stop
Wayne
on
Carter
by.
program. They helped us procure this television.
They've helped us procure the 361-894-4020 that none of you use.
This is and the dual line phone that none of you have the guts to call 894-4020. This is a
361 10-digit dialing,
Series 9000 Samsung television.
which means nothing to
It's
either
way,
one of us.
way above our pay grade.
Not for long, though.
Reach out to us. The Great Barn Mercantile. Today's another great day to go
Stop
by and
on
see
by.
Cheryl.
You know, I just got to thinking that if you're looking for things for your home, gift ideas, and none of it's made in China, stop by the Gray Barn Design. Cheryl does and makes concerted effort to avoid anything that's made in China being
China.
sold in her shop.
There you go.
So there you go. Kerry
There
Bump
are
checking in.
Several original artworks by Kim Jong-un, but they're very, very pricey.
She's got some Hunter Biden originals in
Right,
there.
some Hunter Biden originals. Got some missiles, some missile concept drawings by Kim Jong-un.
Sheriff Louderback, Tom Price, Mark Kurtz, good morning. Thanks for checking in. Better late than never.
Sheriff Louderback kind of let me down last night. Didn't make the flyby that I was expecting. Did not see him at the Get It Right workout either. Things that we need to, things that make me go, I'll share with you that the Astros update brought to you by the fantastic friends at First State Bank Louise, starting with Patricia Nagel, certainly not ending with Lolly. Get in there.
Almost begins with her.
It does begin with her. She is the welcoming eye of the branch. When you walk in
Carl
there,
the doorman.
Carl the doorman. Get in there today. The corner of Stockbauer and Salem. Open an account, free. Get a backpack, free.
Free.
There you go.
You get two if you open up a.
I'm going to find out. Caden is going today. He really is. We were going to go yesterday. Yeah. Bless his heart, the kid was worn out from football practice, but I'm going to take him today. He's got several $100s that he's pilfered from me over the last couple of months, and he wants to be able to not carry so much cash and have a debit card if he needs it. I'm all for it because a debit card, he can't overdraw it. He's not going to come in and go, Dad, I got a credit card bill. So I'm going to get him a debit card.
Make sure you don't give him the overdraft. Well, you
No.
probably want the overdraft protection
Nah,
because then he's going to get $29. Well, I don't know what
They may- that may be
not. They may
included.
not have fees. Yeah.
I don't know.
So
But looking forward to that. Astros win. That's the key thing.
They
Astros
do.
win last night 3-2. Was that the final? No.
8-2.
7-8. Late in the game, nobody scores more runs than the Astros after the seventh inning, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. The game started off with a bang. Our own King Tuck, Kyle Tucker, hits another 2-run bomb yesterday. Chaz Michael, McCormick's been on a dry spell, not hitting the ball well. Jose Abreu had a nice hit, which he needs. He needs to get untracked. The numbers are staggering. They go, Jose coming off a 0 for 36 streak.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like he's 0 for August.
pretty much.
And then all of a sudden he goes off last night and hits the ball well.
Good. We're only paying him how many millions?
I don't know.
do
Jose Altuve had a key hit and scored 2 runs. Astros win handily. The key takeaways for me were that Christian Javier had a nice outing, pitched really well.
Yep.
And is it Rafael Montero?
Well, that's a good question.
Montero that Dawn wants to option back to AAA every time she
So does
sees
everybody
him.
pretty much.
It's unbelievable to me or uncanny to me
Rafael
how
Montero.
we'll
yes.
be watching a game and they'll show the bullpen, and I just don't expect this emotion out of a lady, especially not a little petite, little blonde like Donnie. She just goes, "Oh no, Montero's up in the bully. Do we want to lose this game? Come on, Dusty." And I'm like, it's okay. He's been pitching better. Love her when she gets all fired up like that.
Astros won. What'd the Rangers do?
Rangers lost.
Oh, so the
2-0.
The Astros gained a game.
Astros now 2 games back.
Nice.
We talked about this coming in this morning in our extensive show prep. Make a note that we're in playoff baseball right now. It's the playoffs. I mean, we're having a multi-game playoff with the Texas Rangers. And you just have to stay close and then realize that we simply, at the end of the year, must win that series with the Rangers.
We've got to win pretty much every series we have left.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Concur. We need to win. We need to win. Win. The heat is on.
Because I think 2 teams are coming out of the AL West. The winner and the second place. I don't
You think they'll both make the playoffs?
It's gonna be tough.
Where's the East? Don't they have 3 teams better
right
than
now?
us?
They've got everybody in there. Baltimore, Toronto, Tampa Bay, I think, are the 2 teams that are in there. And if the playoffs were to start today,
Toronto,
Tampa Bay and Toronto, and I believe it would be. I think the Astros would play Tampa Bay if the playoffs started today.
So when the brother man shows up, if he was in Canada, they go, "We're going to be joined in a little while by Mr. Start Shirt." That's who he would be.
Mr. Starchy Pants.
Mr. Blue Tie. Love the brother man. He'll be in here. He'll say, "I got a little something for you boys." We put a lot of pressure on Brother Gary. See, you guys know Brother Gary is the affable, friendly, everyman that everybody knows. And you, even if you don't know Brother Gary, you feel like you know Brother Gary. You do. You feel like, "Oh, that's Brother Gary." And you say hi to him, and he'll say hi to you. And, you know, he's like Joe Biden, but he doesn't sniff you. You know, he just loves everybody. Well, we have a show to do. We have to put pressure on the brother man to bring good content. We remind him every week he's on a 1-week contract, and we threaten to cut his pay, which is, of course, 0.
Yeah.
And he falls for it every time.
Every time.
Okay, I'll do good next week. I'll do good.
Day game today against
Fantastic.
Baltimore for the Astros, and they're home to take on the Angels for 3, and then they head off on a
This is
short
not
road
easy.
trip to Miami.
It's not easy. The Marlins don't suck.
No, then we've got
Seattle's
Seattle,
good.
Boston, Detroit,
Detroit's a break.
Boston, the Yankees. Here's
Where's
our
Boston?
September. There's nobody under 500 in the AL East.
Man, these are tough games. 3 at Boston, or 3 at home versus
4
Boston.
at home versus Boston, then 3 at Boston.
I'm trying to go to that series in against New York, beginning Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. Here's how.
Boy, right
Here's
after
how
the Yankees,
September.
then
Yeah.
you've got to go to Dallas and play the Rangers.
Final series against the Rangers. Then you've got San Diego who's fighting for their playoff lives. Then on paper it gets easier.
But before you move, let's just start in a couple of weeks from now. Go up one little click for me. Just let me give you the schedule, folks. On Friday, August 25th, you play Thursday afternoon at home
Against Boston.
against Boston. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, you're in Detroit.
Sunday afternoon.
Okay? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're in Detroit. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're playing in Boston. You're off Thursday. You travel home. You play Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Yankees, which has become kind of a rivalry and kind of a heated contest, stressful. Then you are on a bus or a plane. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at Texas. I mean, there is no break in there. There's 2 days off from the 23rd of August until it's tough.
Then you get a day off and come home to take on San Diego, Oakland.
Yeah, there's your breather. San Diego was supposed to be better than they are, and they're really not good. But if you win these 3 against the Rangers, if you go 500 here, win these 3 against the Rangers, and can sweep the Padres and the A's, you're looking pretty good. Has any team fallen farther faster than the Kansas City Royals? They won the World Series in, 2015? You haven't heard from them since. No. The Washington Nationals, same thing. 2019, the Nationals win the World Series, and you never...
Well, they sold everybody off. It was like the Marlins in the early 2000s.
Wasn't that
right?
where Scherzer was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. The Astros have done a great job of
Boston's
keeping their
ahead of
core
the Yankees,
together.
technically.
Yeah.
Half game up.
Us being 2 back doesn't bother me because to say anything other than the Astros control their own destiny is silly talk.
Yeah, San Diego's free falling since the trade
win.
deadline.
Yeah, just go win.
Lost 4 in a row. So.
Are you getting some smart
Steve Kidder
comments?
said I sounded like James Brown there for a minute. Detroit. Oh! Philadelphia. Huh!
Yeah, Mark Kurtz brings up the obvious, although albeit sexist, remark. Montero must not look good in his tight baseball pants. Dawn will say, I mean, she's very, very astute about sports in general, and yet I'm like, well, honey, why do you like McCormick better than Myers in center? Oh, he looks better in those pants. I mean, come on. You had me. You had me at your baseball knowledge.
See, that's where I don't know a guy that watches the WNBA and go, why do you like that player better? Better looking? No, it just doesn't happen.
Their point guard's got a better rack. You just don't hear that. No. Guys don't do that.
No.
But
not at all.
Then Dawn went on and said, I must admit he's looked less than adequate to me over his last couple of outings. But he's done better of late. We're trying to give Montero a chance. And here's what's so scary about
He got hold number 7 yesterday.
Major League Baseball. Oh, now Dawn says, no, he plays great defense. Speaking of McCormick.
Yeah, whatever.
One thing I like about Dusty Baker is at the point he's at in his career and with his age and with his experience, he will say in his post-game press conference is always a must-watch. And Dusty Baker will say, well, everybody knows Montero's struggling. We're trying to get him out there in games that we've got wrapped up to get him back on the horse. Hence, we're up 7-2. They throw him out there and let him throw a couple strikes. He did end up with the bases loaded.
Pitched a solid inning. He only gave up 1 hit. No walks, struck out 2.
Steve Kidder fronted you out. Ash sounds like James Brown there for a minute. Detroit, ow! Philadelphia, huh!
I just went over that. Did you just have a little mini stroke and forget that?
TIA, it's no big deal.
Joe Biden.
I'll be all right. Well, there's the 3 things, you know. There's 3 things.
See what I work with folks every day.
How about
every minute's a
yesterday?
new day? How about this at Australia? This is from the. You can't tell me this woman didn't know what the hell she was doing.
This is from the you can't tell me that woman didn't know what the hell she was doing file?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I'm with you. That's a big file.
Yeah. So she cooks. Here's what happens. 4 people at a dinner party.
Here's the deal.
4 people at a dinner party.
Right.
Woman cooks a dish made of mushrooms.
Sounds fun so far.
Doesn't it, though? They just happen to be poisonous mushrooms. 3 of the people at the home at the meal over for dinner die. Except for 1. Guess which one didn't die?
The chef?
Yes. She became ill, but she didn't die. Those at the home were the parents of her estranged husband or separated husband. So her in-laws.
Was the husband there?
I believe the husband was there.
The husband, his parents. The mushroom, I don't know why you'd be nervous. The mushroom is called the death cap. The death cap. The world's deadliest mushroom. which is responsible for roughly 80% of worldwide mushroom poisonings. But if you cook it just right, it tastes like chicken. You have to cook it in a little formaldehyde.
They've released her after questioning. Still remains a suspect, but she wouldn't answer some of their questions.
The death cap's fatal toxin alpha-amantin attacks the liver and kidney, causing vomiting and diarrhea, and can lead to death. Hence the term death cap. If it only caused diarrhea, they would have called it crap cap. But they quit that. It's not. That's
because they're Australians. They're
Australians.
more practical
They're
than Canadians.
More practical than the Canucks.
Yeah.
You've got to admit there's something there to the way the Canadians name stuff.
I didn't do anything, she said. I loved them, and now I'm devastated that they're
I'm
gone.
sure you are.
Yeah, you just didn't eat enough to die.
Have you
No,
heard
no,
anything?
It was her in-laws of the son she separated from, and then her mother-in-law's sister.
Has anybody heard the details
Crazy stuff.
of this
Can't tell me she didn't.
pastor / Kinder Morgan employee from Freer who was missing like from last Wednesday and was found dead in like a warehouse off Staple Street in Corpus this week?
Hadn't heard this one.
Yeah. Steve Kidder says Brent doesn't listen to his own show. Maybe you should just realize, Stephen, that sometimes the bits you give us are just worth repeating.
Ooh, nicely played.
Dawn says, try being married to him, Ash. Thanks.
So the bits that Steve Kidder gives us are worth repeating the first time when I tell them they're not worth listening to.
Right. Well, I didn't
It's
hear
not
it.
Brent's bit.
Can
It's
you give us the
Noah's bit.
laughs over there, the laugh track? 'Cause
Which one is it?
I don't know.
That's fitting.
That's all you got there. It was that one on the left.
There it is. Those are the applause. That's the Brother Gary button.
That's right.
Only Brother Gary gets that one.
They give you that because if you really want to do like your own show and you don't have a studio audience and like you need to pretend you have friends, that's it.
That was actually a pretty long little laugh track.
Yeah. I
It's
wish
not
you
worthy
had
of anything.
one.
That one's too long for anything on this show.
It would be great in today's environment. I think that the estate of one Ed McMahon could make money, honestly.
Oh,
With that, oh,
yes.
yes. That and or he could go whatever you say there, big guy, whatever you know.
Just a little soundboard.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think that we would use it.
Callie Frommy says she thinks that they said there was no foul play suspected in the minister's death. So he ends up in a. I mean, it was a little
So
bit
let's,
of a
let's
dementia.
follow this. No, he's like in his 40s, I think. I mean,
Early onset.
Cartel onset dementia. I mean, the guy's driving a Kinder Morgan truck. He leaves Freer. He ends up dead in a warehouse in Corpus. I mean, did he go there to have a heart attack? How is there no foul play when he's off the beaten path?
Is it Kinder Morgan's warehouse?
I do not know that. That's why I was asking, does
Yeah, I
anybody know?
don't.
And Callie, thank you for what you do know.
Steve Kidder with the legal advice of the day. Never talk to the cops alone, especially if you've just poisoned your dinner guests.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, everybody would think that's just common sense. Kelly Frommy says gunshot. Oh, he offed
So
himself?
we're thinking maybe he
Suicide.
shot himself? And does that not qualify as foul play? That's a bad play. How about at our house, the boys will say, Mom, what's for dinner? Just eat it.
That's all that matters.
Oh. Caden, Caden's 15.
Speaking of just
he's built
eating it.
like a truck. And I'm just like, oh, he's big, Brother G. And I'm like,
Oh, he's tall, lanky.
but I mean,
He's got some filling out to do.
yeah, but he is filling out, and
But he's only 15. Wait till he's 35.
like, what did you eat for lunch? I just had a Kind bar. I go, you had a Kind bar? Well, I had 14 of them.
Exactly.
And I'm like, really? But it costs $35 to take the kid to Whataburger. I need a jumbo fry, and I need a double meat, double cheese, and a huge drink, and a pie, and a taquito. Crazy town. See, I'm going to tell you that little pep talk that you had with Brother Gary about his contract. Look at that.
It worked.
3/4 of the way through the show, Brother Gary's here.
He's here.
Mr. White Shirt, Mr. Start Shirt is here. We talk about the Canadians, how they name everything so practically. You know, it's
Mr. Took.
I mean, there's cold as hell Ontario. You know, there's little towns, there's little towns and hamlets.
Not so hot Saskatchewan.
Right. Not a bar here, Toronto, Quebec, whatever. They've got it.
Yeah, you won't find that town in Newfoundland.
Not a bar here. I did not know Newfoundland was an island.
Yeah,
Well, that explains it. They can do whatever they want with their clock.
more or less.
And nobody does anything there, right? There's no industry.
Fishing. They're huge fishing.
Well, speaking of
In
fishing,
the summer. In the winter, they sit around and collect unemployment.
let's take a break and then spend a minute on Maui. Folks, Atzenoffer and Atzenoffer.com since 1926. Atzenoffer is Victoria's dealership. We recommend their paint and body shop. Get in there. It's time to – you're not going to buy a new car because you still owe $1,100 a month on that 3-year-old Tahoe. Get in there and let them –
3-year-old Raptor.
Right.
I thought you were going to bring it home for the people.
I wish it was $1,100. Get into Atzenoffer and let them touch up the paint, clean it up, new windshield. They can do it. Paint and body shop extraordinaire. We talked about the law offices of Steve Kidder.
We just gave you his legal advice of the day.
Steve Kidder's
he's
fantastic.
covered.
Great guy. Sense of humor. He'll understand. What I like about Steve is, and there's not no humor. You may laugh at this, but I have a great pastor friend, Mike Hurt. I could talk to Mike about anything, and he would look at me, and he might look at me and go, I'm surprised you did that, but he would not look at you with any judgment. He would not look at you with any criticism. He would look at you with, how do we go from here? Steve Kidder, honest to goodness, is the same way with your legal issues. He's not pastoral. I'm not saying it's like a God thing for him. I'm saying that he's like, okay, I like to deal with what we've got, what we can prove, what we can disprove. Now let's sit down together and formulate a plan to get you from here to there. Steve Kidder, I know I took a lot of poetic license. I know it's a stretch to compare him with a pastor. I get that. But the extremes are what they are. AJ's detailing, nothing religious about AJ at all. Just the best damn detailer on the planet. Go by AJ's detailing. Check out his Wade and Carter page or his Facebook page. We now control Meta as well.
And the chopping block, now's the time to get in there. If you like dry-aged meats, this is the time that they have a selection of dry-aged meats. They've got some dry-aged ribeyes. They even have dry-aged burgers in right now. So there you go. Stop by, get that.
They had a cooler crap out, and they've got some dry-aged meat. So get by there.
And they've got some fresh smoked chicken salad that's ready to go.
It is great, too. They put the grapes in there, Brother G. Oh, it is fantastic.
With walnuts. This one's got walnuts, so if you got a nut allergy, you don't want it. But get over there and check it out. And Armor Air, folks, if you've got any sort of air conditioning issues, it's been hot. And even if your AC is not keeping up and you think it's just normal,
it ain't.
It ain't. Give the folks at Armor Air a call, 579-0966. They'll come out, check it out, and they'll tell you, your system's just a little older and it's not quite keeping up because it's older and not quite keeping up. Or you've got a Freon deficiency. We topped it up. You're good to go.
That reminds me, Brother G, I've got an appointment today with Dr. Vu for my annual check-in. I'm sure he's going to say to me, oh, Brent, that's a very typical problem of men your age. You've got a system that's just not keeping up.
Just not keeping up. The case.
Could be the case. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want you to make sure you knew that I kind of jumped in there a while ago because I wanted you to know that I was listening to the program while I'm not just mailing it in.
No, you were earlier when you
right. I had a Paul Polosic moment. Hello. Oh, yeah, there's no money for that in the budget. I'm sorry. There's no. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing how with no tax increases, we've got a city manager right now who's a can-do guy. I mean, I'm sure the tax increases are coming.
They're here this year.
Yeah, but I'm saying
effective rate, but it's still giving them 5% more than they had last year.
We're going to have the venue downtown. We're about to build a new police department over there. Chief Young, thriving. Looking forward to it. We got so much money. We got police cars parked all around town without cops in them. We just got extra cars that parked all over the place.
Chief Young's a little lower key than Chief Arredondo, though, isn't he?
Yeah,
Chief him out and about like us, we used to see Robert. Brother Man's here. Do you want to bring the Brother Man in?
Always. Absolutely love having the brother. Are you going to give him some camera time?
That's all right.
Hey, word is Nike's getting rid of Megan Rapinoe, but it makes sense.
Why would they get rid of her?
Because she's retiring. Yeah, it's not because of anything she does or says.
They could have the hot Air Jordan.
Keep the cameras on you.
Okay, well. The brother man's like that voice over the fence. What was the guy's name?
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah,
There you go.
Scott
Hello,
Tom
sir.
goes,
Hey, sir, good to see you.
I'm
Guys,
trying to figure out why. And maybe the tie's wrinkled. Maybe the shirt's not as starched. He doesn't want the camera on him today.
That's all right.
He's got a hair out of place.
No.
I
There's
was
not
out
a hair
there.
out of place. Are you kidding
No, I'm
me?
fine. Thank you, sir.
Brother
but I
man, what time do
appreciate
you
it.
get up in the mornings?
Early. 4.
Do you
Probably
really?
4 a little after I'm up. Man, I can't sleep late. I never have, and stays that way. But yesterday was a big day. I went back to school. First day of school, and I got to tell you, boys, I went back to your old stomping grounds. Ash, you would have been with us. You'd have been at Victoria High back in the day. But I went over there. STEM school had their first day. And
I covered some basketball games over there.
Yeah, you've done some. But we went back stomping grounds, and I walked in there, and this kid, 700 and something kids in there. And we were going to dress them, and I just had to take a couple of pumps.
Did you?
Basketball pumps. Well, the kids, whoop, they go, whoop. What do you, no basketball?
Well, they're
in the hand.
STEM kids. They don't know how to play basketball.
He's good.
I did have a basketball in my hand. I told the coach, put me in, coach.
I
Put me in.
kid. STEM kids.
But I remembered Brent on that court.
Oh man,
I love it.
I ran so many miles on that court.
Remember
There's a rut over there in that yeah.
Well, that was just you trying to keep up with the play, both ends.
Unbelievable.
Coming and going.
And
you know
can
what?
you hear Bob Nance? And there comes Carter.
Oh, that's
dragging
Carter
up the
trailing
rim.
the play, looking for
Now
that,
the
looking for that
offense
back
is
pass,
set.
and he
I
doesn't
know where
get
he was
it.
sitting too. I can tell you exactly where he sat.
That was
And
my
now he's
spot.
trying to hustle back
That
on
was my
defense.
spot over there.
Right at midcourt. See, then you figured it out. By your junior year, you figured out if I just hang around the midcourt,
Yeah.
I don't have to run, and I'm never out of position.
I was held between the free throw lines, right in there.
So I go to the center of the court, and I'm going to dress him. I said, "You see this here in the circle would have been the Stingray." I don't know what I'm talking
She
about.
had no idea.
This is Victoria Stingrays back, and that's when I was here, and it was a Stingray. They looked at me, of course, and some not. The teachers, a few teachers.
Don't
nodded their
try to
heads.
bring up old wounds to new generation that
I
have
know.
no clue. They
But I
don't
couldn't
know.
help
They moved
myself.
on.
But you
They
know,
moved on, bro.
the other day
I couldn't
down
help
at
myself.
one of the fishing tournaments, Dawn showed me a picture. Some guy caught like 150 pounds stingray.
Stingray.
I mean, it was as big as that wall.
Stingray was a made-up word, wasn't it?
Yes. For we are the fighting stingarees.
1968 reunion last
There you
week.
go.
And I was over there.
Three
They
people
had
there.
it.
They're all dead. They're all dead.
You knew some of them. What do you mean?
Right.
They all went to
So what
dinner
they
and
do?
ate mushrooms.
No, what they do now is they have like a roving reunion for those folks. They have it at Twin Pines one day. They have it at Pam one day.
Stop it. I'm in that
Regency
67.
one day.
But it was great to go down there, and they fixed the school up really nice.
And then for the real up and comers, we'll meet you at Ramsey's.
well, that's it. Well, that was
class, of
good stuff.
class of 70s at Ramsey's.
Class of 70s having a dance.
You don't think when you walk in
From
there,
3 to
you
5.
Brent, you don't think when you walk in, you see that stingray on that floor right there? Man, that was good times.
Tell you what.
Ash, it brings back good memories. And the kids won't know it, but I had to say a little bit about that. Had to.
And when we
Average
were
age of that
rolling-
reunion, roughly what, about 73, 74, somewhere in there?
Yeah, that's it.
But you know, when we were
That's it.
rolling,
Correct.
every year, Coach Smith would have that floor refinished. Every
Yes.
year they put down a tough as nails polyurethane coating with crack steel pillar fade.
It had that on it. Yes, and that just made me.
Ugh.
I went
Speaking
like
of which,
this.
should we take our final break? Bring the
Have
man
to.
in?
You
Yeah,
have to
let's
talk
do it
about
now. because
USA Concrete Coating. USA
7, 8
Concrete
home.
Coating can put a Stingray back on that floor.
They could if you wanted them to. You got to find one, but they'll do it.
Absolutely. Used to squeak, and we'd go up there and practice at 7 in the morning. There'd be dew on the ground, and you'd run, slip, fall. Not if USA Concrete Coating. You put a tough as nails polyurethane coat on it. Went services for all your generator needs. Went with turnkey generator service.
They're awesome.
Under $6,000 for a 24 kW whole house generator
Plus
installation. They'll
But
line
any
out
electrical
for you.
work you need, too.
Absolutely. Or
get that
emergency
done.
plumbing work. And then White Trash Services 550-1826. We're going to debrief with BJ Nelson about what happened at the school board. And BJ, BJ's very conservative. She'll help you understand what's going on at the school board level. So there you go. White Trash Services for all your weekly and roll-off dumpster use and
I've
all
got my,
your-
I've got my
everything.
roll-off coming.
Everything. I call it Lester Roloff. It's an old Baptist preacher from Corpus, Lester Roloff. He was in charge of Sir?
You
Yep,
remember that?
yep. Roll off Nodic. Absolutely.
You
Tell
me
us
when
what's
you're
going
ready.
on. No,
All
we're
right.
ready.
We're ready now. We're
We
ready
joked
now,
about
brother.
giving you a 1 week contract,
Yes.
and at the same
How
pay.
come I keep coming back then?
At
I
the
must be
same
okay.
pay, that's
I say,
right.
well, the pay is the right place.
Yes,
It's
sir.
Right for y'all.
Well,
Yes,
because
sir.
we're taking advantage of your dementia.
Right.
And
Every
you have a
time
1
Brother
week.
Gary comes, he thinks
Yeah.
it's his first time to be here.
Exactly. You didn't know he
Act
was
like
here
it.
the week before.
Didn't know.
So
Well, and Brother Gary,
crowd welcomes you, brother.
Brother
Live
Gary helps
studio
host.
audience.
He
And we
helps
love
host
y'all.
the Alzheimer's walk.
Right.
But
I
they
do.
just don't know when it's going to be his last time. Like he may just walk off into the sunset. Like
Well, they got me booked again for
right,
one more.
yeah. Well, at least they know to call you back.
I will tell you, it is school business right now. Tonight, I Unleash the Titans at East High School. We're doing their big pep rally and introducing all the.
You don't think Mike
sports
Smith will
team.
be there, do you?
I hope, yeah, he'll be there,
Oh,
man. I'll be
screaming
introducing
and
him to
yelling.
the golf
Good
team.
thing they didn't call that Unwrap the Titans.
Right?
He's there tonight. We'll do Unleash the Titans tonight, 7 o'clock, parking lot east. We'll meet the Warriors on Monday night, and that's at West High School, and 6 o'clock over there. And I'm just looking forward to all this. It's just great times right there. Also, this weekend, tax-free weekend. Y'all got that down?
Tax-free.
Tax free.
Yep, tax-free weekend.
Brother, taxes are the least of my worries.
Yeah, right. Tax-free weekend for the parents who have kids.
Oh, there you go.
Well, anybody can.
Anybody can do
splurge.
it, but the parents with kids.
Certain
school
items.
supplies.
But you know, it's too late. We're already back to school. Should have done this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Kids
well,
in school need new pants. Ryland's
doing
pants
that.
are about this much too
Well,
short.
he grew this summer.
Oh,
Holy coda, that kid grew.
oh, he's got big old feet. Looks like Michael Phelps. Big old flipper feet.
right
Get him in a
on.
pool.
Well, you know,
His
and
webbed
they'll-
toes. He's gonna swim.
There'll be
skinny.
people out there. They shop all the time.
Yes,
Double
sir.
shopping this weekend. And then Goliad County, Go Texan, has their pro
Oh, the
riding
PBR is
event.
going on this weekend.
PBR Saturday night.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
Goliad
fun.
County Fairgrounds. Yes.
That sounds
That
fun.
won't be hot.
Oh, that's a good one. You going?
No, but I guarantee you at the Goliad County Fairgrounds, they'll have a cold beer for you. If you want
Well, and actually, with this breeze blowing every night, it might be nice.
you know,
there.
Goliad's our favorite place to go. to
I
rodeo.
love that sound.
I love
I
that
do a lot
place.
in it, and I love that
PBR there is gonna be fun.
town. PBR Saturday night.
What else happened, brother?
All right, brother. We got Texans and Patriots tonight.
Preseason, who cares?
Preseason.
I hate
But we
to say
can
it.
we can watch
But
Bailey Zappi then.
That's what I.
Why wouldn't-
There's the catch right there.
Why wouldn't Pabst Blue Ribbon sponsor the PBR?
I don't know.
Have a PBR at the PBR.
I don't know.
Sounds like
Call.
you make a bunch of money doing that.
Yeah. Well,
Bud
Probably
Light,
could.
Bud Light, Budweiser canceling a bunch of brands.
Monsters.
I
all
saw
over.
that.
Well, they sold a bunch.
Yeah, sold them
Yeah.
off.
But they were all their
craft.
kind of niche and craft breweries, and they probably didn't belong under AnBev, big major conglomerate who has big breweries. They probably didn't belong there. Red Hook, probably the most famous of the bunch, right?
No, Junior, I won't be singing on the regular. I just,
Junior.
some days I just feel good. You know, I feel like sharing a little song with y'all.
C.J. Stroud starting, according to Steve Kidder, for the Texans.
she. Okay.
But who else do they? I mean,
No, but
you
that's
drafted
the one they're,
kid,
they're
but I mean,
excited
yeah.
about.
Well,
You're
I mean,
throwing
who,
him to the wolves.
who else are you going to be excited about as this Texans quarterback?
You're going to see Zappy though. They're going to play.
Oh,
him
yeah,
tonight.
Zappy will play.
His uncle was at the Helplex yesterday. Got a chance to talk to him. He looks like he could play.
Oh yeah,
Zappy's father's brother.
yo yeah,
Big
and
boy,
Mike's
man.
a big guy.
And Mike's a big boy too. So got that.
Mike's probably eating right. He's probably because he might get some FaceTime on TV. He didn't want to be a big
Yeah,
old
it's
fat guy.
amazing
He's look
what
great.
the residual effect of your nephew going to the NFL.
The whole
team.
family's in shape.
Man,
Yeah.
he said he wanted to come in and lose some weight. I said, "What? You look good now."
Yeah, I'm going to those games for free.
Right. And then the Cowboys and Jags Sunday. There's Cowboy diehards. They're going to watch it. 4
I'm
o'clock.
sure we'll be watching it
Saturday. That's Saturday.
Saturday.
Where's that one on?
That one's didn't say. I looked for it. Didn't say where it was.
Brother
Dallas
Gary,
DFW 11.
I looked.
hey, Brother Gary's like, it's only preseason football.
It's only
Cowboys favored by 7.5, and I know a guy if you need something.
Didn't check that out.
If you want,
Didn't check that out,
You want, a
son.
little, you want a little action on that preseason game? Give the Brother Man a call.
I love it. So just Astros doing great, guys.
Oh, they're
Yes,
doing
sir.
good. Yes,
They're
quick.
doing very well.
They what's their top home run hitter? Alvarez, 21.
Yeah, which is crazy because he missed like 6 weeks.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
doing
he had
good.
that oblique, and he was in the Bahamas chilling.
Otani has only gotten like 2 home runs in the last 2 weeks. You know why? They're not pitching.
He's already got like
40.
50.
He's got
Yeah,
40.
it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
He's not going to break the 60. So
They're starting to
Sure.
ask, is he the greatest baseball player? Is he having the best season ever.
Somebody took the time to find the numbers of his career at this point and Babe
They're
Ruth.
like
They're
identical.
almost identical.
How about that? That's
Crazy.
something. Yeah.
I think it was at the All-Star break.
Yeah,
His
they were
numbers through
really-
that many games in his career.
How about that?
They were almost identical. Home runs, their pitching records, their ERAs, the RBIs. It was
like
almost
It was funny. It was like after 167
Yeah.
games, they each had this.
more
They
than
each,
that, 'cause
yeah,
that'd be one season.
but
yeah.
whatever it was, they each had exactly this and same batting average, same home run, within one home run and 1 or 2 RBIs.
Yeah.
all
Pretty
time.
close. They walk them 2 to 3 times a game.
I saw a deal yesterday that said that since 2021, maybe.
But see, that's the that's the unintended consequence of eliminating the shift. You used to pitch to those guys because your shift would play the percentages.
Right.
Now you're walking them because
Right.
the percentage are back in favor of the
And
hitters.
guess what?
Exactly
It's
right.
boring.
It is boring,
So here's the other
but
side.
games
of
are
that.
faster.
Since
But walks.
2021.
yeah, which I'm thinking is when Alvarez came up. Since Alvarez joined the Astros, no other duo in Major League Baseball on the same team. Those two guys, him and Tucker, are hitting 299 combined
Yeah, they're-
with 97 homers and 199 RBIs, and nobody else in baseball is there. They have the highest combined average home runs and RBIs.
Pretty good.
I love how baseball just reaches for stats.
That's a great stat, though.
They've done it, and we followed it all our lives.
All our lives.
That's all I got, boys.
So basically, it takes 2 players on the Astros to equal 1 Barry Bonds.
oh, man.
Right, that's about right. Well, yes, since
Big
21.
Barry Bonds fan.
No kidding.
Pirates
Loved
back
him.
in the day.
Loved
Big
him.
Barry Bonds fan.
Yeah, if he's not in the Hall of Fame, it should just be called the Hall of Almost Everybody.
Thank you, guys. Y'all
Yep.
have a great
Hey,
No, thank
we
you,
love
brother.
you, brother man. Folks, it's the top of the hour.
Yeah, we'll get out of here.
We're gonna get out here and let y'all have a great day. Go be safe today. Watch the roads. Watch out for your neighbors, and do watch out for the kids. It's
Yeah,
it's
I
early.
noticed yesterday, police were pulling people over left and right
As
in
they
the school
should.
zones, as they should. So please be careful.
Don't get shot. Be good, folks.
Bye, folks.
Around. I've been locked up for driving 100.